Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Greater Essex Virtual School Rocket League Championships. My name is Jackson or Deprive, joined alongside Shaddy or Zeddy. And boy, oh boy, do we have some action for you in store today, Zeddy, and you wonderful viewers over at home there. We got a bunch of Rocket League matchups, finals for all of these schools/teams. Zeddy, how are you feeling about coming into this whole championship? Yeah, no audio on Zeddy.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, there we are.
Perfect, awesome. Okay, having some technical difficulties, but we're all good. I was just saying I personally love Scholastic Esports. I think it's the right step in the right direction to get kids in these leagues and competing and participating. And we've heard great things from these schools, especially in the greater Essex region. I know we at St. Clair are super supportive of the growth of esports in Windsor. And I think this is an awesome event to have. And I'm super excited to see all the young talent we're going to see on the main stage today.
Yeah, for sure. Completely agree with that one. So before we kind of get started here, I would like to just give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors who made this league possible, and people who really contributed to this league. Putting like you said, the next step in Scholastic Esports, whatever. Very good stuff there from all of them. So quick shout out to the Greater Essex Virtual School Board, Raffi Auto Group, St. Clair SRC, the St. Clair College, St. Clair College Zekelman School of Business and Information Technology, Tim Hortons, One Dream Esports, and Oracle RM's Insurance Risk Management Services. Huge shout out to all of them. Like I was saying, wouldn't be possible to put something like this on without them. And now, talking a little bit about our matchups that we're going to be getting into. First, going to be starting off with the Junior Championships, and I believe that is grade 6s and 7s all competing in that one. And that is going to be Northwood versus Bellewood to start us off in a best-of-3 matchup. We're going to be competing for a total prize pool of $1,200 between all 3 championships today. So, each championship going to have its own set. We are not too sure what the exact number is there for those. However, it's 1,200 combined between all 3 championships. So now, talking about this first championship a little bit, Zeddy. We don't have a whole lot of info to go off of, but kind of what can you tell us a little bit about these first couple teams?
We've kind of just been getting information from the teachers as we were getting set up for today. And a lot of these players, like especially on the Bellewood team, we're hearing things like, oh, they all want to be like professional soccer players and stuff. So it's really cool to see how that like passion for the game of soccer is translated into a game like Rocket League, car soccer. It's really funny to kind of see that being expressed in a virtual way. And I mean, you said it, $1,200. Like, can you imagine being 11 years old and competing for a prize pool of over $1,000? Like, I probably, that's probably more money than I saw for my entire time, like in school. So like that's really incredible opportunity that's being provided to students.
Yeah, for sure. And the game is just right around the corner at this point in time. So should be switching over to that fairly soon. However, we got, one thing, we're just talking about the Bellewood guys and how they all want to be soccer players, whoever it may be, right? And it's also really cool to see brothers on that team. They have, I was Pew Pew, and I don't actually have the gamer tag for the other one, but they are brothers, one in grade 6, one in grade 7, both from Bellewood. Very interesting to see that there. You don't see that too often here in esports or whatever it may be, but yeah, Northwood versus Bellewood. Super excited to get into things here. And man, oh man, these teams, they fought their way through all these intramurals. They fought their way through this whole, this stage play, whatever it may be. And I'm very excited to see how they can perform when it really does count here in this best-of-3 finals. And I really just want to see some good games. I really want to see some teams battling for the win, going back and forth, not just, very one-sided. So let's see if these teams can really compete with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look at Northwood, a lot of these players were hearing from their teachers and parents that they just love esports in general. You've got Rainbow Six players even on that team. Some of the kids, I believe one of the players is actually brand new to Rocket League as of like last year when the game first moved to Epic. And speaking of moving into Rocket League, it looks like we're going to get started already. The game score is already 1-1, so we're jumping into this about a minute late. But we can actually see these teams finally getting started here in the action. Plays out.
Very excited to get things started here, and that's going to be Pew Pew putting it in the net, taking the lead for Bellewood. He's going to find his first goal of the championship, and Bellewood now leading 2-1 here. 1 minute into this game.
That's a really good lead for Bellewood to start things off. We're getting kind of introduced to the players in some of the IGNs that we hadn't previously seen. So it's going to be Scram Tank on Bellewood, going in a little bit aggressive. The shot's going to go slightly wide, but he's setting that up for the rest of his team down center as they keep this pressure up. Now Northwood looking to get this ball cleared out as Kinju goes and dumps that out deep. Bellewood back on the defense here as they try to get this ball cleared back out on their end.
Yeah, for sure. So you see everybody kind of moving towards the side of Northwood's net right now. But that is going to be Kinju able to take that out of his zone a little bit there. But now Donald Trump going to be putting that in Bellewood's zone, trying to even up this score line a little bit here. Kinju finds the shot, will not connect, and great defense there from the side of Bellewood. Northwood trying to even up the scoreline over here. Good shot there from Pew Pew, but Kinju with the save.
Yeah, really good offensive from Pew Pew, but now Kinju's going to be able to turn that defense into some offense as Void Soccer comes flying in. He's going to be able to get that defense out and get that ball cleared out. And again, Pew Pew on the offense. You can see this guy, he's always going in. You know, we love that energy. It makes these games super exciting here. As Northwood, again, kind of forced into an awkward defensive position. A beautiful save from Fearful Fantasy. However, he's going to get that taken down, but Scram Tank flying down center field. That's going to be the goal for him. And Bellewood pushes this lead now to 3-1.
Yeah, very good stuff there from Bellewood. They built themselves a little bit of a cushion here now, for terms to say, on that scoreline. Being that 2-goal lead rather than that 1-goal lead, really going to help them out here moving forward with this game. And if you're Northwood here, now you start to get a little bit concerned because, you know, you just want to close things out against this Northwood squad. What can you do? That's the question at hand here, right? I mean, they're down by 2. Northwood really looking to find the back of the net here shortly and build some presence on the offensive side of things. Now let's just see if they can translate that defense into an offensive play.
You're talking about what they can do. Well, when you already have a 2-goal lead and you've got all this time left on the clock, what you can do is just keep doing what's been working. And so far, Bellewood's been able to execute on these offensives really, really well. Northwood's had a lot of great looks that are just slightly going wide, and I'd really like to see them actually connect that here as they manage to maybe turn this defense into an offensive push as Kinju picks up that boost and he's going up the side. Can he go for the dribble? But he is going to get contested out in the center field. Maybe going to look to set that back up for his team as he's again kind of forced into a corner duel situation, but he is going to keep this push alive. And here he comes. He has a shot opportunity. The nice rocket fly, but it is going to get contested away. And Northwood with yet another great look, just barely getting beaten out by Bellewood.
Yeah, I mean, Northwood making it so close to finding that back to the net, like you were saying, just a few shots wide or whatever it may be.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Void Soccer will connect for his first goal of this matchup. Bellewood now extending their lead to a 4-1 game here now. Northwood, you know, it's hard to see because you see Northwood getting so many really good opportunities. All it takes is for them to really start clicking as a team before they find that back to the net.
No, I mean, their teamwork has shown to be pretty strong already, as a nice little demolition comes up from Scram Tank, which is going to put Northwood on the back foot here in this play. But I don't really see it as being a teamwork issue so much as just unfortunate shots that are just barely going in. But, you know, Bellewood is finding these shots, and they're just getting them consistently, and it's really accelerating this lead now to a 5-1. Beautiful shot from Pew Pew off the side. Really good aerial momentum to carry that goal in.
Well, yeah, you can't shoot if you don't score. So you do see the guys just constantly
we'll let that one slide. That's fine.
well, a little bit of a mishap there, but no. So yeah, Bellewood now with that 5-1 lead, more pressure onto the Northwood net. However, Northwood is going to be Kinju transferring, so a nice little dribble, but just a little to the left, will not find that net. And now that's actually going to be Pew Pew on the play.
Oh.
And he's going to find a goal. That's his hat trick. Throw him on the ring for Pew Pew, as he is now extending Bellewood's lead up to 6-1.
I really love that attempt from Fearful Fantasy. You can see consuming that entire boost charge. He was just so near to getting that defense, but it did just slip right past him. And unfortunately, that is going to mean the goal does connect as well. Northwood having to close a 5-goal gap in a minute of play. It's definitely doable. We've seen crazier here on the Rocket League stage, and I have complete faith in, you know, this team's ability to pull this into overtime so we can get even more action. But the huge demolition comes out from Pew Pew, and that's going to shut down the defense as Void Soccer scores yet another goal in this game number 1.
Yeah, and now this is where things get a little bit more sketchy for the side of Northwood, right? Like we've said, like you were saying, we have seen 5 goals scored in a minute before. We have seen the comeback happen like this, but it seems like Bellewood is just not kind of giving Northwood the opportunity to find these shots, find these goals. And it's more or less not really Northwood playing bad, but Bellewood just seems like they've been playing like constantly to get ready for this tournament.
Absolutely. They're obviously a very well-rehearsed team. As you mentioned, they do have that, I guess, that sibling advantage. They've got already that hardwired communication in from these two brothers being able to really lock in with each other and, make the most of each other's skill sets. And it's showing. Their teamwork is just immaculate, the way they're narrating these offensives. And now for Bellewood again, they're going to look for another look here, but it's going to be Fearful Fantasy beating that out on the defense, trying to get that cleared out. But Voidstalker now down center field with a nice tip, but it's going to go wide as Kinju going to be able to pick this up and maybe look for an offensive look of his own as he tries to carry that in. Trump going in for the finish, but he is going to get stuck up in the center of the rink. And now Voidstalker looking for a shot. The rocket fly just barely goes underneath, and that should be the end of the game as soon as that ball touches earth. Bellewood taking that victory 7-1.
Yeah, and you know what? They looked good doing it too there, Zeddy. Bellewood playing very good. Pew Pew, I think that is actually, the younger brother of the two. Very good stuff there from him, gets himself a hat trick, got himself a good amount of score. He had 698 scored throughout that one. Very good stuff there from him. And you got to be proud of the guy for doing something like that. And, overall, we do see the side. I believe that was actually, Bellewood was the one who took that one, right? Yeah, Bellewood. Bellewood really looking good throughout that one. And you know what? It's just, if you're from the side of Northwood, you really just kind of got to get your head up and really just go for it next time, right? You cannot let that one. Yeah, game one, you have a clean slate here now. That's the biggest thing you got to touch on, right? You have a complete clean slate. You want to just jump back into things, not kind of about that last one, but you are going to get things going. So a little bit of a technical difficulty here, but we're right around the corner, and here we go. We have entered the game here now, and that's going to be actually Northwood starting things off with an early goal, and that's what we like to see, bouncing right back from that previous loss, and now taking a 1-0 lead here, 6 seconds into the second game.
Really nice lead from Northwood to get that scored in. And, as you were saying, it's game one, but it's a best-of-3 series. You don't even think about game number one. We're on to game number two, and you can see Kinju, put game number one behind himself as he's able to score that very early goal for his team and set things up right. Donald Trump being an absolute wall on defense. Yes, I did that on purpose, but unfortunately that is going to get broken through as Pew Pew is able to find that goal for his team and even up the score again. So yet again, we enter a game very early, and it's already 1-1 between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, very high action game. You see it 1-1 here already. 2 goals in 16 seconds. It's not every day you see that. And there is just one player I do want to point out from the side of Northwood who has looked extremely strong to me in the past, 6 minutes that we've been watching him. Kinju. He's found a lot of opportunities on the court, breakaways, and for example, like this. Found so many opportunities on the court that he can just completely take advantage of them, and he does so every time. Kinju gonna rack up a second goal of this one already, and we see 3 goals in 30 seconds. This is absolutely crazy start to this one, Zeddy.
Really incredible performance from Northwood, and Kinju for leading the charge here in terms of goals. But we talk about this all the time. Every time we cast Rocket League, even when it's our own Saints, you may see one player pop up and get all these goals, but really the team effort to set that up. But Kinju, the 42nd hat trick. He was definitely not going to take game number one lying down as he comes in flying down center field to score that 3rd goal for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a hat trick already, and we're only 38 seconds into this one here, Zeddy. I don't know if I've ever seen a hat trick in 38 seconds, but that's going to be Kinju coming through here to show what he can do. And he's just, look at him, like we're on his point of view right now, and he is just on an absolute rampage, trying to find this ball, trying to connect onto the back of the net. And ultimately, let's see what happens. But that's going to be Scram Tank actually finding a shot on net, and that will connect as the save can't come through. Scram Tank going to put this one to a 3-2 score line here now. Northwood still leading by 1. However, Bellewood on the rise.
Really nice shot from Scram Tank to start to even out the scoreline. We were talking about how these two teams, how game number one, Bellewood took a really convincing lead, and now Northwood really showing up here. So it's good to see Bellewood start to fight back a little bit and, really keep the competition in this game as Kinju goes for a nice little look. However, it is going to just jump up barely in front of the goal line. Not going to connect on this one, but Puke, has an offensive opportunity of his own as he gets that centered in. He has the boost. Can he get the rocket fly into the tip? And he got a nice shot from Voidstalker flying in from the skies above to close that one out. What a beautiful setup.
They're probably screaming at each other right now. You stole my goal!
No, that was perfect.
Voidstalker comes in right behind, finds the tip, gonna put it in the back of the net to tie things up 3-3. And now we do see 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining on the clock as we get things going here. 6 goals already, And like, I cannot emphasize how high action, how high scoring this game is already. You know, like the chat is saying, there's so many goals that you can't even keep count of what's happening at this point. So overall, it seems like Northwood and Bellewood just going back and forth constantly, finding the back of the net. Good save there, a little bit from Fearful Fantasy, and he's gonna actually do a good job of clearing that ball as well. Void Soccer keeping it in the zone, taking an opportunity.
Nice shot from Pew Pew.
Will go in. There's the goal.
That was absolutely massive. I love the way Pew Pew played that. He goes in for the shot and loops around, you know, rather than kind of just barreling into that corner and just forcing a fight continuously, nonstop, just fighting it out, duking it out in the corner. He makes space for his team. He leaves it up to his teammates to center that and comes in from the perfect angle to find that shot. And that's just such an excellent, you know, demonstration of the communication that this team has with each other.
Yeah, cannot agree more with that one there, Zeddy. So here we go. 4-3, Bellewood. They took this one back from a 3-1 deficit to a 4-3 lead here now in just a matter of about a minute. And now here we go. Bellewood actually building themselves that one score line lead like we we're talking about. Kinju, though, he's on the hunt. He says, no, not today. I want to send this one to a game 3. Let's see what happens. Kinju trying to get aggressive, trying to make a play here. I like how he doesn't like get over aggressive though. You know, he knows his boundaries. He knows where he has to stop. And he does actually make that all work out in the end. And that's going to be a nice little clear from Donald Trump, taking that one out of his zone. And it's going to be up to Void Soccer here now on the defense.
Yeah, good luck from Northwood as they get this one deep into the offensive territory and trying to round this goal out. But Bellewood puts up a really strong defense here. However, Kinju finds another look that is going to get deflected away, barely missing the side of the goalpost here. Now Fearful Fantasy has an opportunity of his own. He is going to tip that back, actually. A nice little pass to Kinju, a good little fake out on defense, as Northwood tries to get this set up again for another shot on goal, but they are going to have to back away from this one, knowing they're beat out in the 2v1 in the corner. And Bellewood finally again has another look.
Yeah, so here we go. Bellewood really searching for another goal to really put themselves in a good lead, but Fearful going to find the net for his first goal here now. And that's going to tie things up 4-4. Boy, oh boy, do we ever have a game on our hands, folks. Northwood and Bellewood tied at 4 apiece here in game 2. Let's see what happens, but, you know, I would not be surprised whatsoever if we do see an overtime, Zeddy.
What a crazy shot from Fearful. I don't even know how you find that angle. That was absolutely insane. Just beautiful repositioning of his car in the air. And for those of you watching at home that may not play too much Rocket League, this is so much harder than it looks, but Fearful Fantasy making it look easy with the back-to-back goals in under 10 seconds, pulling this up to a 5-4 game.
Yeah, very good stuff there from Fearful Fantasy. I mean, you know, he's really, Kinju really found the first 3 goals early in this one, and then Fearful's like, you know what, I'm gonna step in here, I'm gonna step up for the squad here now. And he does, exactly, and he does find a couple goals here now. Northwood now with that 1 goal lead. Bellewood really looking to answer back for it. If not, we will be seeing a map 3 incoming. I would love to see a map 3, you know, like we were talking about right before this one started. We really want some good high-impact games. There's a great save from Kinju, taking that out of his zone. And he's looking to use this on a run now. Kinju dribbling the ball a little bit away from his opponents, but Scream Tank going to be on the run, slightly behind him. The aerial.
Oh my god.
For it. Kinju wants to be a superstar here in this game. He wants to really make some like plays. He wants to get his clips.
The wall riding mechanics from Kinju are actually incredible. It is so difficult to execute that maneuvering, and the shot he had lined up for himself, like if that connected, I would have been retweeting the heck out of that like every single day to set that automatically timer. Hey, check out this clip because nothing will ever look better in Rocket League. That was so beautiful the way he set that up for himself. However, just barely going underneath that. And now again on an offensive look as he tries to get that cleared out. He is going to consume a lot of his boost, however, on this play. So now with no boost left on defense, and Bellewood's going to be able to find that opportunity and punish it. That's going to be a 5-5 look for Bellewood.
That was just a good bounce. As soon as it went over Fearful Fantasy's head there, I mean, it was just inedible that was going to go in the net. And, I mean, Fearful Fantasy did a great effort there of trying to stop that ball, but ultimately Bellewood going to connect to find another goal, tying things up here 5-5. We could definitely see an OT here, folks. I mean, 5-5, only a half a minute remaining. Let's see if this one ends in regulation. Fearful Fantasy, huge defense there, taking that out of his zone. Now it's going to be Void Soccer looking to make a play, but will not connect. Kinju tries to bounce it around Pew Pew, but will not connect as well. 5-5 here, 18 seconds, and the time is becoming of the essence.
Nice rocket fly from Pew Pew, but Fearful Fantasy with a clutch save. And Scramtang, I can't even control my excitement. It's just play after play. The beautiful finish from Scramtang to close that one out. And now 12 seconds left on the clock for Northwood. This is match point for Bellewood. Northwood has to make it happen now.
Yeah, I mean, 12 seconds. Northwood to keep themselves alive in this whole championship game. They have to find a goal in the next seconds. Kinju is getting ready for it. He's setting one up. And that's it. Fearful Fantasy finds the hat trick, and it looks like we may be going to OT here, Zeddy. 6-6, very last second. Fearful Fantasy goes absolutely huge, finding his hat trick and tying up this game.
Double hat trick to pull a tiebreaker clutch in game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is peak Rocket League. 4 seconds left on the clock. As soon as that ball touches earth, it's going into overtime, and here we go. Next goal wins it all. For Bellewood, it's the match. For Northwood, it's a shot at redemption.
Yeah, so Pew Pew, you're looking to take this wall ride here a little bit. Picking up on what Kinju was doing previously, but Kinju says, nah, I'm taking this out of my zone. Fearful Fantasy gonna bounce that around in front of his net slightly there. Scramtang looking to find a goal, but Donald Trump gonna area that up in the air.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for Northwood to maybe spin this out and get this cleared out. However, Scramtang with a nice little shot is gonna get deflected away. Now, Donald Trump has the opportunity to clear this. He is gonna pass that over to Fearful Fantasy, however. They are gonna maneuver that together. A nice little tip to Kinju. Is this gonna go in? That looked really good, but however, it is gonna get deflected away in the air, get taken off to the side. And this ball is just getting bounced up in the air constantly. You can see how hard these players want to contest and fight for it as Pew Pew comes barreling in, almost finding that shot. But it is going to get deflected away, and now Northwood may have an opportunity of their own here.
Yeah, Pew Pew really so close to finding that one. But, you know, like we were just saying, Northwood going to actually have their opportunity at hand here now. And this ball is going to be in the territory of Bellewood, but Scramtang taking that out of zone. You will see Donald Trump playing that net position, really just trying to make sure that ball does not go through him. And now looking maybe a little bit of a play here.
Looks good.
Fantasy, that's going to be a nice bounce, just a little to the left, will not connect. And this overtime, already a minute and a half. I think this has been like the longest kind of spurt in the game where you haven't seen a goal for. Both teams playing great defense here in overtime.
Yeah, you can see how badly both of these teams want to win. They're pulling out all the stops on this play. They know how important this game is, and every decision matters here. You miss one aerial, you miss one defense, it could spell the end of the game, and they're not allowing themselves to make mistakes right now. Both teams playing as hard as they can to get this cleared out. And now Northwood trying to get this ball off into the offensive end. It's been in their end for far too long, as Kinju says no thank you with the nice little save to get that kick back to center field.
Yeah, for sure. So now you do see Donald Trump trying to make a play, but that's going to land right in front of the net, and that is going to be Pew Pew finding the goal, and Bellewood will be your junior division champions here, coming out on top throughout all these schools. Very good effort there from Northwood, really forcing this 2-minute OT here in the last game, but Bellewood will be the guys to close this one out.
No, if you're going to ask for a championship match, what better way to go out than 2 minutes worth of overtime and a 7-6 scoreline to close it with 3 total hat tricks in the same game. What an impressive stat line for that game. You have to remember, these kids are like 11 years old, and they're putting on a show for us today. Incredible mechanical performance, incredible teamwork performances. Their communication is on point. Like I was saying, I was so impressed with Kinju's wall riding. Like, I'm still getting my mind around that. That was insane, the kind of stuff we were seeing from these players.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'd love to see some of these players actually come through here, maybe compete underneath the Saints in the future a little bit. However, you know, we will see, you know, Team 21 that is going to be this side of Bellewood. Thomas Pegg, Alexander Pegg, and Maximus Noel. They will be your champions here for the junior division. Huge congrats to all of them. Let's go. You love to see it. The grade 6 and 7 division, they will come out on top of the Greater Essex Virtual School Rocket League Junior Championships. Now, guys, that was a great one to start us off, but we still have plenty more of Rocket League action coming your way for the remainder of this day. So, let's buckle in, because we got a lot underway. Zeddy, how do you feel here about moving forward? How do you feel about that past match?
All I can say is if that was our junior championships, I don't even know what to expect for what's coming down the pipeline. So make sure, don't go anywhere. We're going to have plenty more high action Rocket League action here on the Saints Gaming channel in just a little bit.